We got a divorce. She legally took a loan out after she sold me the property. That's when I realized that she's pretty much committed fraud.
We own the property, we have the record, and I think we should move forward with the writ.
But I have the proof.
This is a completely different case, but Mr. Barrett had filed an eviction against Erica Barrett previously. I was presiding at that time, and he had filed a couple of them. There was no mention of a potential third party outside of him and his wife. So his wife was claiming initially that he had, that he bought the property from her, and then she had said something about a deed to his mother, but she was never able to produce that there was ever a deed done to his mother. He produced a deed that had been recorded, saying that, and she acknowledged that she had given the property to him. And then there was no other evidence presented. And so, it's that long story short, he was able to evict Erica Barrett from the property. He was saying he was the rightful owner. So you're saying that your client is actually the rightful owner of this property?
That's correct, yes, post foreclosure.
Okay, so there was a So Mr. Barrett,
I'll let him say it.
so let me go ahead and put you under oath, Mr. Barrett. Can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
I swear.
Mr. Barrett, before we get started, at the previous dispossessory, you made no mention of a foreclosure action.
I brought it up. I told you that she illegally took a loan out after she sold me the property.
You didn't tell me it had been foreclosed on.
So I wasn't aware of it being foreclosed on until recently.
When were you aware that it?
So when I went online go ahead.
Before or after the dispossessory that we went forward on against you?
After, when I tried to log into my HOA paperwork, I was sent an email back, and I can share my screen and show you from my HOA saying that they're attempting to take the home. And I'm like, I already communicated to them back on 12/4. I sent them an email, I called them and spoke to them on the phone, both their lawyers and Ironwood and their lawyer. And I told them I had a deed dated 8/4/2023. And I said, the one that you guys have is 8/11/2023. Then I also went online and noticed that, so that was in September when I spoke to them, September 4th, 2024. I attached a call log. I also attached the emails which I sent to them, but to prove that I did communicate with both Ironwood and
Mr. Barrett, at the end of the day, if there was a loan and it wasn't paid.
This loan occurred after I owned the property. That's the problem. The loan occurred after I had already owned the property. I purchased the property. So I have a purchase agreement of July 25th, 2023. I also attached a proof of payment to this.
Your deed was in August.
Yeah, my deed. Yes, my deed. But I paid, if you see the initial payment, the first payment I made was July 25th, 2025. The last payment was 8/4/2023, which I paid.
What do you mean payment?
So I made the initial payment to her for the home. I made a lump sum.
This was in 2024, you mean?
2023, I made the payment to her.
Okay. So I think it was August 4th.
Correct. And I made the payment before that. I made she signed a purchase agreement on 7. She
didn't convey the property to you until August 4th.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. And then also Ironwood, they signed a deed on 8/11/2023. They after I spoke to them, they attempt to try to change the date to 8/3 because I told them I had already owned the property.
Okay, you own, if I recall correctly, the deed that you presented in your previous hearing, it showed that the transfer of ownership was on August 4th.
Yeah, that's when the deed occurred. The purchase, I have a purchase agreement as well. That was.
Okay, so that's not gonna,
That's fine. Okay, yeah. So yeah, his client have the deed date listed online as 8/11/2023. So they purchased it 7 days after they signed and notarized their stuff 7 days after mine.
You mean signed and notarized what?
The notarized whatever agreement they had with Erica, that was done on 8/11/2023. So basically, she sold it to me and then attempt to take a loan out against it after after that.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right. So, Mr. Stevens, if you'd like to.
Well, yeah, I mean, Your Honor, we foreclosed on the deed. It was dated 3rd. I think it was notarized the 11th, but that's beside the point. I mean, as long as in terms of the title, any title disputes, that should be a Superior Court issue.
Right.
As far as so if he wants to challenge that, Superior Court is free to issue an order stopping us. But right now, we own the property, we have the record, and I think we should move forward with the writ. And there's no answer filed on this.
Yeah,
so
so Your Honor, I did file a case as soon as I found out against, and I've already served the CEO. I also served
And I
Stephen.
see that that's a Superior Court case. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's not going to be a defense to this matter.
Yeah, but I have the deed, the latest deed. His deed is not even, it's after mine, so I'm not really
I'm
sure.
going to let him present his case.
Okay, go ahead, sorry.
I'm going to see it. It doesn't. Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Stevens. You're saying that your client is that Ironwood Finance.
My client is Ironwood Finance Incorporated. They bought the property at foreclosure sale, which occurred on March 4th, 2025. And Erica Barrett was the former borrower. So, and that deed was recorded April 30th, 2025. And
So it was foreclosed on back in April.
it was no, it was foreclosed in March, but the deed that was foreclosed on, the original security agreement, was dated August 3rd, but notarized August 11th.
So so it's foreclosed on March of 2025.
Correct. And the loan that was foreclosed on was the security instrument that was foreclosed on was dated August 3rd, notarized August 11th.
Yep,
Okay.
it was notarized on the after mines.
What happened? Okay, so his wife deeded him the property on August 4th. You're saying that she took a loan out on it on August 3rd?
Right. What happened is that she deeded him out originally June 30th. He deeded back to her. She took out the loan August 3rd, and then she deeded. I guess we didn't know this until I think his deed was recorded in February of this year. She deeded to him on August 4th.
Okay.
But again, I mean, that's a
to each other. So she deeded it to him, and then he deeded it back to her.
Yeah, so what happened, Your Honor, was she we got a divorce, and then in the divorce decree said that she get the property back. Then she asked me, because she asked me back in 6/30 if I wanted to buy it. I told her I can't buy it right now.
6/30 of what?
2023. I told her I don't have the money. I said I told her by the 25th, 7/25, I can come up with the money, which is when I wired her the money, and I have a signed purchase agreement with her for that property.
So you deeded it to her pursuant to the divorce, and then she deeded it back to you on August 4th.
Correct. So in the divorce, it's explicitly state that it's her property. That was
right. So part of the divorce,
years ago. It was a couple of years ago, 6 years.
You deeded it to her, and then she wanted to sell it back to you.
Yeah, she kept asking me. I wasn't interested in it.
And then that transfer happened on August 4th.
Correct. That's when she signed and notarized the deed. Stevens's client.
That's when the deed was. That's when ownership was transferred.
Correct. Okay. Yes. And
on August 4th. And so you're saying, Mr. Stevens, that Erica Barrett took a loan out on the property on August 3rd?
No, she didn't, Your Honor.
Mr. Barrett, I'm asking Mr. Stevens.
Yes, correct. It was taken out on August 3rd. It was notarized on August 11th. So, but that's what occurred.
Okay. Do you have these documents that you can share your screen so I can take a look at it?
I do not. Let me see if I can get
I upload
the deed.
Mr. Barrett, just hold on a second.
Also, Your Honor, if there's anything you need me to show, I have it. I'm prepared.
Chris, I'm let Mr. Stevens show what he has.
And again, I mean, if there's a title issue, again, that could be fought out in Superior Court. But in terms of our client, they own the property.
Yeah, they don't. You don't.
Mr. Barrett, please just don't interrupt. Okay. I know this okay, so this document here in the body of it says August 3rd, 2023. So it wasn't actually signed off on until the 11th. Then it wasn't official, really, was it? I mean, how does that?
Well, in terms of the agreement, it would date back to August 3rd, but again, I mean, in terms of this hearing, we don't have to argue the top, but yeah, it would date back to August 3rd. It would be my argument. But,
Um,
and then this was recorded on 8/18, so there was no other deeds in the record at that time. So it was a free, at 8/18/23, this was the only record or August, that was in, any kind of title issue.
because I do
was,
recall, Mr. Barrett, you didn't record this deed until like a year.
Yeah, because I didn't realize that she took a loan out against the home, but the legal date is the notarized date, which is 8.
No, well, they weren't on notice. I mean, if you didn't record
I
it.
reached out to him back in 12, so I sent you a call log. I showed you.
That's not the same as you have to put it in the records. I mean, just because you call somebody and say something, that's not the same as having it filed and recorded.
So this property, for example, it was transferred to Erica maybe 5 years before that, 4 or 5 years before that. She never even recorded the information was not
Okay.
recorded until a few days.
Well, that's not good practice because it doesn't.
No, I agree.
It doesn't put people on notice that are dealing with the property who's actually owning the property in the moment. So with them, they're dealing with her and there's no other evidence in the file to show.
Yeah, so I reached out to him last year to let them know that she's pretty much committed fraud. I told him I had a notarized deed that occurred before they actually took the loan out. I also showed you that I have a purchase agreement with her. I also have showed.
But if you didn't have that in the record, they're not going to be on. They wouldn't have been on official notice in terms of doing a title search to say, like, according to them, anybody doing any research on it, they're going to see her as the owner because nothing else was recorded until you didn't record that other deed until like a month.
That's when I realized that she's pretty much committed fraud. So that's the reason why I went ahead and recorded, because I realized she's fraudulently taken out a loan in between after she sold me the home. She fraudulently attempt to take another loan out against it. And if you go online in DeKalb County, there's 5 cases against her for similar things, and 5 in Fulton and other county, like maybe 20 different cases against her.
You might have a claim against her, whatever, but you still didn't record this.
Yeah, Your Honor, in the law, it doesn't say I mean, I do agree. I probably should have been more proactive in recording it, but
But I think if she defrauded you, I think that's a claim against her. I don't know.
But she defrauded them. She already sold me the house. I already had that home before Ironwood, and they were notified last year. I notified them.
That's a year after this happened.
Yeah, but I don't know that occur, right? Because I'm not doing fraud. I'm not committing fraud. You can look at my record. I don't commit fraud. And I've been paying, also my name is on the mortgage. I've been paying that mortgage on that home for the last 18 years as well. The mortgage and the HOA. And also she signed a lease agreement, which I provided. I have a lease agreement, a purchase agreement.
I know that.
Yeah.
But that was all a year after this. Well, no, the lease, I'm sorry, this was all in 2023. I mean, it looks like she took a loan out on this the day before.
She took a loan. I have a purchase agreement on 7/25.
That's not transfer of ownership though.
No, but this is not transfer of ownership because this is when they initiate the document, not when they actually, this is a document date, not the legal.
If you scroll down, it's a deed.
Yeah, the deed at the bottom is notarized on 8/11/2023. My document is notarized on 8/4/2023.
Right, exactly. Okay. So, Mr. Stevens, you're saying that doesn't matter, the discrepancy in the date doesn't matter?
No, Your Honor, I mean, and even if it did, I mean, even if it was raised as an answer in post foreclosure proceedings, title can be even challenged, so even if the agreement together was void upon when it was made, it can be challenged. So any challenge should happen in Superior Court, which I believe he filed. So if the court in Superior Court, if the Superior Court, issues an order, obviously we'll stay the case. But right now, my client's the owner. They should get possession.
Yeah, I'm the owner, and I have the date is consistent.
Does anyone live in that property, Mr. Barrett?
Yeah, when I went by last time, I kind of knocked on the door. Erica was still living in there. She was refused.
She's still in there?
Yeah,
Okay, that's
she said she's not leaving until that's what she
the
told
writ
me.
comes. Okay, hold on.
Refusing to leave.
Mr. Stevens, the only thing we haven't gone over is you're saying that there was a foreclosure in this, a foreclosure on the property in March.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you do have you have the deed under power.
Yeah, yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so this was done on April 7th and then filed on April 30th.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, recorded on April 30th, correct.
The
All right,
deed
Mr.
date is
Barrett.
wrong on the document as well, by the way, Your Honor.
Say that again.
The deed date that they have is wrong on this document as well.
How do you know that?
I just read through the document. If you scroll back up, you've entered the wrong date intentionally again, 8/3/2023. That's not the deed date. It's 8/11.
Okay.
So they've illegally forged. They pretty much forged this document with wrong information as well.
Okay. All right. So Mr. Barrett, so I just wanted to, I'm going to take judicial notice of the deeds and everything that was presented today. Mr. Stevens, do you acknowledge that that there is a deed to Mr. Barrett that was dated August 4th of 2023? Does he need to pull
Yes.
that up? You acknowledge
No,
that?
yes, he sent it to us, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. We can stop sharing the screen now. Okay, folks. So I did need to do, this being a particularly factually just sort of, it sounds like there was a lot of manipulation, I guess, on behalf of Ms. Barrett, and sort of the timing of these things. But however, at the end of the day, again, reviewing the law, dispute in the actual title is not something magistrate court can deal with. It also is not function as a defense to the dispossessory. So I am going to grant possession of the property to the plaintiff today. There's not going to be a money judgment associated with that. They are entitled to possession of the property. Mr. Barrett, you can continue to challenge the title in Superior Court, as I know you are doing. And if there are any sort of injunction or anything issued by that court, based on the arguments that you're making today, that is something you can do. But I am going to find in favor of the plaintiff today.
So, Your Honor, the notarized date is what is legally considered.
All of these arguments that you're making, sir, that these are all arguments you need to make in your Superior Court case. And again, just for a myriad of different reasons, I do find that they are, possession of the property is, they are entitled to possession of the property in terms of the dispossessory. Again, if a Superior Court judge finds, if you get in front of that judge and some other injunction is issued or something along those lines, that's something you can, but that's not something I can do here. And all the arguments you're making are not going to function as a defense to the dispossessory, especially in light of fact,
the proof of ownership is not sufficient for a dispossessory, you're saying?
Okay, I'm saying title to the property.
I have but I have the proof that I own the property and that they illegally forged the dates and everything on the document.
Okay, so that's something you can argue in Superior Court. This is a dispute over title. You're saying that they shouldn't have title and shouldn't be able to foreclose. That's something you have to argue in front of the Superior Court. They do have the deed under power that does give them the right to have possession of the property.
Illegally, Your Honor, I just showed you my deed is.
Okay, Mr. Barrett, if you can file a petition for review, if you do disagree with my decision, you can file a petition for review. If you disagree with what I'm doing today. So that's what I'm going to do today. Like I said, Mr. Barrett, you have to file a petition for review within 7 days if you disagree with my decision. All right, so that'll be the order of the court. You are all free to go. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Too often to deal with another party such as this, and you just can't seem to work it out. Don't resort to taking the law in your own hands.
We'll hear the litigants' reaction after these messages.
All right, thank you very much. Officer Bell's waiting for you, and that will bring this case to a conclusion.